Hello, guys. Welcome to another episode of Poetry in the PM with yours truly, Giacomo Gianniotti. I hope you guys are doing well. I hope you guys had a good weekend. I certainly had a good weekend, got some rest. It's a beautiful day here in Los Angeles, very sunny. Can you hear the birds chirping? Birds give me a lot of peace. I really love birds. Anybody else love birds? Love hearing the sounds of birds? Maybe I just sound like a crazy person right now. Oh my God. I hope you guys are doing well. I hope you guys had a good weekend. I hope that all your families are safe and sound from this virus. And I want to start off by thanking our healthcare workers, like I always do. Thank you guys so much. Nurses, doctors, anybody who's in a hospital that's working right now, thank you. It has been a really long time that you guys have been sustaining this level of work, and I'm just so proud of you guys and so indebted to you guys. Sorry about that. I just got a phone call, so I interrupted. That's never happened before, which is strange. Fan from Iran. Hello. Sound of birds is amazing, so peaceful. Yes. It's funny because I start these lives and then you guys are all commenting, but I'm talking and then I read the poem and then I go to the questions. But you guys the whole time are writing things, so I feel bad because I'm not really reading or seeing them. But I love that you're commenting. Speak Italian, please. I definitely have some more Italian poems to read. I'm going to have some Italian guests on pretty soon, reading some poems from Italy as well. Ciao, Gianna. Hello, Gianna. Would you like to meet Brazil? I would love to meet Brazil, the country. Hello from Bulgaria. Ciao, Bulgaria. You know some Spanish? I do know some Spanish. Thanks to all the healthcare workers. I hope you guys are staying safe out there. Let me know what you guys are doing to stay sane. This poetry has been great for me. It's been awesome to connect with you guys in this way and share the message from so many different cultures and language and just to reinforce the fact that we're all in this together and that we're all one and we all experience all the same emotions and things and up and downs no matter where we live on this planet, and we can relate to poetry from all over the world even though we've maybe never visited that part of the world, that there are simply human conditions and human emotions that we all face, so we can all relate. So the more we think of each other in the world as like our own and together, and the less of we think our other countrymen across the ocean or wherever they may be as different from us, then I think we're going to make a lot of progress in this world. So without further ado, I've been reading a lot of kind of shorter poems, just because I kind of wanted to make this a little bit more digestible and not too boring, I guess. But I guess maybe I've been trying to get over that fear. And for those of you who are really into poetry, of course it wouldn't be boring. Oh, let me see. Hold on a second. Roma non fa la stupida stasera, Paolo. Lo so. That's true. Paolo. I was talking about songs, actually, because they are poetry. They're lyrics that artists have written and created music to, but at the end of the day, they're words on a page, and that's poetry, especially if it's meant to be spoken or sang out loud. So I think, Roma non fa la stupida stasera, an Italian song about Rome. Rome, don't be stupid tonight. Is an amazing song, and we can certainly dive into some other songs and analyze them as poetry. I think that would be really cool to do. Maybe we can have some musicians come on, play a song, and then talk about the lyrics of their song. That could be a cool idea. So maybe if you're a musician and you have some new music and you'd like to come on and maybe play, maybe once a week I could have someone play a song and then talk about their lyrics. That could be cool. I'm a big fan of music and musician myself, so I love that idea. I am going to read maybe one of the most famous poems out there. Certainly one that when I was in high school we read and studied. And there's an amazing rendition of this poem that The Simpsons, the cartoon, actually did. They did a whole episode about it, and it was Honestly, you should YouTube it. It's incredible. But today's poem that I'm going to be reading is called The Raven by Edgar Allan Poe. And again, it's a bit of a longer poem, which I'm typically not trying to do on here, but I thought, hey, you know what? Why not? One day we can go into some more longer poetry, longer prose here. So I am going to read The Raven by Edgar Allan Poe. And then after that, we will do some chatting and I'll answer some of your questions and stuff, okay? All right, let me get into it. Take a deep breath. It's a big one. All right, so this is called The Raven by Edgar Allan Poe. Once upon a midnight dreary, while I pondered weak and weary over many a quaint and curious volume of forgotten lore, while I nodded, nearly napping, suddenly there came a tapping, as of some one gently rapping at my chamber door. "'Tis some visitor," I muttered, tapping at my chamber door, "only this and nothing more." Ah, distinctly I remember it was in the bleak December, and each separate dying ember wrought its ghost upon the floor. Eagerly I wished the morrow, vainly I had sought to borrow from my books surcease of sorrow. Sorrow for the lost Lenore, for the rare and radiant maiden whom the angels name Lenore, nameless here forevermore. And the silken, sad, uncertain rustling of each purple curtain thrilled me, filled me with fantastic terrors never felt before, so that now, to still the beating of my heart, I stood repeating, "'Tis some visitor entreating entrance at my chamber door. Some late visitor entreating entrance at my chamber door. This it is, and nothing more." Presently my soul grew stronger, hesitating then no longer. "Sir," said I, or "Madam, truly your forgiveness I implore, but the fact is I was napping, and so gently you came rapping, and so faintly you came tapping at my chamber door, that I scarce was sure I heard you. Here I opened wide the door. Darkness there, and nothing more. Deep into that darkness, peering long, I stood there, wondering, fearing, doubting, dreaming dreams no mortal ever dared to dream before. But the silence was unbroken, and the stillness gave no token, and the only word there spoken was the whispered word, "Lenore?" This I whispered, and an echo murmured back the word, "Lenore!" Merely this, and nothing more. Back into the chamber turning, all my soul within me burning, soon again I heard a tapping, somewhat louder than before. "Surely," said I, "surely that is something at my window lattice. Let me see, then, what there it is, and this mystery explore. Let my heart be still a moment, and this mystery explore. 'Tis the wind, and nothing more." Open here I flung the shutter, when, with many a flirt and flutter, in there stepped a stately raven, and the saintly days of yore. Not the least obeisance made he, not a minute stopped or stayed he, but, with mien of lord or lady, perched above my chamber door, perched upon a bust of Pallas, just above my chamber door, perched and sat, and nothing more. Then this ebony bird, beguiling my sad fancy into smiling, by the grave and stern decorum of the countenance it wore. "Though thy crest be shorn and shaven, though," I said, "art sure no craven. Ghastly grin, an ancient raven wandering from the nightly shore. Tell me what thy lordly name is on the night's Plutonian shore." Quoth the raven, "Nevermore." Much I marveled this ungainly fowl to hear discourse so plainly, though its answer little meaning, little relevancy bore. For we cannot help agreeing that no living human being ever yet was blessed with seeing bird above his chamber door, bird or beast upon the sculptured bust above his chamber door, with such name as Nevermore. But the raven sitting lonely on the placid bust spoke only that one word, as if his soul in that one word he did outpour. Nothing farther than he uttered, not a feather than he fluttered, till I scarcely more than muttered, "Other friends have flown before. On the morrow he will leave me, as my hopes have flown before." Then the bird said, "Nevermore." Startled at the stillness broken by reply so aptly spoken, "Doubtless," said I, "what it utters is its only stock and store, caught from my unhappy master, whom unmercifully disaster followed fast and followed faster, till his songs one burden bore, till the dirges of his hope that melancholy burden bore of never, nevermore." But the raven still beguiling all my fancy into smiling, straight I wheeled and cushioned seat in front of bird and bust and door. Then, upon the velvet sinking, I betook myself to linking fancy unto fancy, thinking what this ominous bird of yore, what this grim, ungainly, ghastly, gaunt, and ominous bird of yore meant in croaking "Nevermore." This I sat engaged in guessing, but no syllable expressing to the fowl whose fiery eyes now burned into my bosom's core. This and more I sat divining, with my head at ease reclining on the cushion's velvet lining that the lamp lit gloated o'er, but whose velvet violet lining with the lamp light gloating o'er she shall press, nevermore. Then methought the air grew denser, perfumed from an unseen censer, swung by seraphim, whose footfalls tinkled on the tufted floor. "Wretch," I cried, "thy God hath lent thee, by these angels he hath sent thee, respite, and nepenthe from thy memories of Lenore. Quaff, O quaff, this kind nepenthe, and forgot his lest Lenore." Quoth the raven, "Nevermore." "Prophet," said I, "thing of evil, prophet still, if bird or devil, whether temper sent or whether tempest tossed thee here ashore, desolate yet all undaunted, on this desert land enchanted, on this home by horror haunted, tell me truly, I implore, is there balm of Gilead? Tell me, I implore." Quoth the raven, "Nevermore." "Prophet," said I, "thing of evil, prophet still, if bird or devil, by hath heaven that bends above us, by that God we both adore, tell this soul with sorrow laden, if within the distant Aidenn it shall clasp a sainted maiden whom the angels name Lenore, clasp a rare and radiant maiden whom the angels name Lenore." Quoth the raven, "Nevermore." Be that word our sign of parting, bird or fiend, I shrieking upstarting, get thee back into the tempest and the night's Plutonian shore. Leave no black plume as a token of that lie thy soul hath spoken. Leave my loneliness unbroken. Quit the bust above my door. Take thy beak from out my heart. Take thy form from off my door. Quoth the raven, "Nevermore." And the raven, never flitting, still in sitting, on the pallid bust of Pallas, just above my chamber door. And his eyes have all the seeming of a demon's that is dreaming, and the lamplight o'er him streaming throws his shadow on the floor. And my soul from out that shadow that lies floating on the floor shall be lifted nevermore. Well, that was The Raven by Edgar Allan Poe. And sort of an epic poem about one man's incredible vision. There's perceptions that it's a dream, that's a vision of his, that he's drunk or intoxicated. There's theories that it's real, and it's a real, story that actually happened. There's obviously this Lenore who he's very much in love with, and basically, if you got nothing from that, this man in his home, in his castle, in his chamber, his room, is haunted by this raven who comes to him and keeps saying, nevermore, nevermore, nevermore. And the more the raven says nevermore, the more he's driven mad into his thoughts. And to the point where he is, telling him to get lost, to die, that he's a demon, and then to banish him back into the tempests. But he's haunted. It's quite a spooky poem. It's definitely a scary one. And as I was saying before this, The Simpsons does an amazing rendition of this poem. And of course, it's, visual, so you're getting images. You were just relying on me reading it and your imagination. But I thought The Simpsons did a really hilarious and kind of funny rendition of this poem. So you're hearing the poem. I think it's spoken by Homer. But it all plays out, animated, and it's really cool. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed that. It's an intense, spooky poem. Maybe it was best read at Halloween. I don't know, but I felt like reading it today, just because I love the language so much. Anyway, let's go to these comments and see if I can say hello to some of you guys. Please read more. Well, that was the end of it, but I read every day, so I think that's enough. I enjoyed. Thank you so much. I want to say thank you. I look forward to revisiting poems and to learn new ones. Very soothing. Thank you for doing this, Javalos. Thank you. The title is The Raven by Edgar Allan Poe. Definitely one of the most famous sort of epic poems out there. Do you know any Brazilian poems? We've read one on the show, yeah. I had my friend Liza de Oliveira come on, and she read a Brazilian poem. Hi, Giacomo. Lots of love from New York. Hello, New York. I know it's tough times over there. I hope you guys are doing well, staying safe. Ciao da Friuli. Hello, Friuli. That's a place in Italy with some amazing white wine. I always tie everything back to wine. I'm totally exposing myself. Sei stupendo. Grazie, anche te. Good poem. Gonna listen to all of your poems you read. Thank you so much. Sounds similar to what Andrew DeLuca had to deal with this season. That's a great comment. Cassidy Dirks. Thank you, Cassidy Dirks. That's a great comment. DeLuca definitely was, working himself up a lot, and at times, I think, like in the poem, I think one of the things that's most maddening is he's alone, and he first hears something at the door, and then he hears something in the hallway, and nothing's there, and so he's spooked out. It's in the middle of the night, it's raining, and suddenly he goes back into his room, and then he hears this little tapping at the window, and this raven is there just staring at him. This raven, this crow, essentially, and so it's very spooky, and so the more this thing is incessant, the more he's going mad. And I think for Andrew, he was kind of alone in this situation, and so it is maddening to be alone and feel alone in a situation, and can definitely drive you crazy when you're seeing things that other people aren't. So thank you for that comment, Cassie. Poe is a great suggestion. I thought so. Thank you, Shirley. Hola da España. Hola. Indie filmmakers. Hey guys. Oh God, I know we got to do that live. Let's hit me up in the DMs after this, and we'll plan that out. Hello from Sardinia. Hey guys. What's up, guys? How you doing? Shout out Waterloo, Ontario. Well, okay. Shout out Waterloo, Ontario. Can you say something in Portuguese? Coxinha. That's it. Does DeLuca still love Meredith Grey? Dun 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 dun. You have to find out. You have to tune in to find out. Luckily, I can see DeLuca's heart. I'm the only one in possession of it, so only I can know. When are you going to put Ellen on the live? Okay, I hear you. We're going to get that sorted. We're going to get that sorted. We'll get Ellen on one day. Kisses from Argentina. Thank you so much. Come to Brazil. I would love to come to Brazil. A bunch of people went to the beach yesterday here in LA, in California, and I gotta say, I'm pretty upset. Very, very irresponsible. So many people being so close to each other in public. If you are anywhere and you have stay-at-home orders from your government and your city, your county, please stay home. Of course, go out, and if you have to work and you still have the luxury of being able to continuing to work because you're an essential worker, then be safe, and all the power to you. And to go out to get some supplies, grocery store, and all that kind of stuff, or walk your dog, again, all the power to you. But you don't need to go get a bunch of cans of beer and food and go to the beach with all of your friends. That is not essential. And when thousands of you do it, you put all of our lives at risk. And it's super irresponsible. So please, everyone, stop doing that. Stay inside. And again, I'm not being insensitive to people who can't stay inside because they need to work or they need to do things to make money to support their family. I understand that. So if you got to do that, go ahead. But sitting your ass on the beach all day with thousands of other people is not necessary. That's not making you any money. All right, so please stay home, because the longer and the more you guys do that, the longer we have to stay in this quarantine. So if everybody continued to stay home, we would be released much sooner. So please stop doing that, okay, guys? You're just making it worse for everybody, It's like when you see a sign somewhere, you got to imagine that at a certain time there wasn't a sign, but some idiot did something and forced us to put up a sign, right? So let's stop having to have people put up signs. Let's just be responsible, and let's just not do it. Let's just stay home, okay? Keep your distance from people. You guys all have elderly people, children, people who are vulnerable. Why are you wanting to put those people at risk? All right? And that's all I'll say about that, because I don't want to sound preachy. I love you all, and I respect you all, but please stay home. I just want to remind you guys that this Friday, May 1st, I'm going to be reading a children's book that my friends made. It's called Then the Robins Sang. It's available for purchase on Amazon right now. You can go purchase it. Then the Robins Sang. It's an amazing, beautiful little story. The illustrations are really beautiful. And I can't wait to read this book for you and all your children and your little ones. And I'd love it if you could order your own book, because all of the money goes to charity, which is a great thing. And also you could be at home with me following along with your own book. So I think it would be really cool. So if you guys can, go to Amazon. I have a link in my bio if you want to find it. Click in my bio, and then you can buy the book on Amazon. It's about $15, I think. This Friday, May 1st at 2 p.m., I'm going to be reading it. So I can't wait. I'm really excited. And and maybe I can get some of you guys on after to talk about the book or something. That would be cool. Brielle's reminding me. Or you can get the ebook, which I'm pretty sure is free, or free 99. So the digital version, I believe. Because I think there's a lot of you people who are in different countries who maybe it can't be shipped to, but the digital, you might be able to just access it as a digital file, and it doesn't need to be shipped to you, I believe. I don't know. Don't quote me on that, but I hope you can access it. And if not, I'm sure the guys at Channel 13 are going to find a way that you can access it online. What age group is the book? What age group is the book, Riel? What age group is the book? It's a children's book. I'd say... Oh, the PDF, you can download it for $9, Riel says. And the book is all ages. Everyone. Yeah, it's a children's book. It's all safe. It's all beautiful messages and illustrations, so all ages. Thanks, Riel. Someone said, do you want to see my ducks? I don't know. That's kind of a strange question. I don't not want to see your ducks, but maybe this isn't the time to see your ducks. Do you play any sports? I played a lot of soccer growing up, certainly. If you're Italian and raised in the sort of Italian culture, basically every Italian father prays that their son becomes a soccer player. Yeah, definitely played a lot of soccer growing up, and baseball. I think those are the two ones. A lot of people, when they told me that I come from Canada, they're surprised that I don't play hockey, but that was never I just never got into hockey. I love watching it, but I never got into playing it. But yeah. All right, guys, I think I'm going to sign off. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you guys enjoyed the poem. It was a lengthy one, but it's such a great one. Again, it was called The Raven by Edgar Allan Poe. And you can just Google that and find it. And don't forget, this Friday at 2 p.m. PST, I'm going to read this children's book, and you can purchase it online on Amazon, called Then the Robins Sang. Love you guys, and I will see you tomorrow. I'm going to take off because I have some personal stuff to do, but I will be back on Wednesday at 2 p.m. All right? Lots of love. Bye, guys. Be safe.